Down here at this store yesterday, a guy was,
Doing the same thing.
he was, but he wasn't even standing in front of the entrance or anything. He had a table set up on the side, and this was the third time the cops showed up for him.
I wonder if he wasn't an official person or because
Oh no, King Soopers had called. King Soopers had called the cops on him because he'd been here several times.
Yeah.
No, he was paid. I don't know if it was with this company or not, but now today this gentleman, are you with him down there? He told
with
me.
the same company.
Yeah, he told me that management came out and told him, in fact, that he could do what he was doing.
I think it depends on the organization and the approach. If somebody's very aggressive, or if somebody's, it depends on the.
You think?
I don't know.
Well, they really violated his protected activity to be able to do that, and the cops in the store were really aggressive about it. So now I come back today.
Because I used to do nonprofit fundraising, and we would have people that would spoof us. So they would get similar merchandise, because I was with the DARE program, and they would get similar merchandise to us, and they would fundraise for the DARE program and keep it for themselves. They were not a licensed person.
Right.
So it could be somebody that was spoofing us and using the information for something else.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but regardless, it doesn't matter because you don't even have to be paid to do this kind of protected activity.
Yeah.
That's the point. And the cops were really harassing him. They were going to charge him with trespassing and
But was he being aggressive?
not at all.
No?
Not at all. I pulled in and watched the managers, the women managers come out, and literally they were circled around him.
Was it the same measure? Or was it
Yeah,
something
is this the
different?
marijuana tax?
Yeah. It was the same.
Yep.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
That is really weird.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I
And he
wasn't
may have
there.
been independent. He said he was being paid. You know, you can do this in a lot of different ways. You don't even have to be paid. You could just do it yourself as a citizen. So what he was doing was okay.
Yeah.
That's the
It
problem.
could have been the table.
No, he had his table set up right next to.
Oh, but I'm saying sometimes when you have a table, they make you pay or get a license. Whereas when you're just an individual walking around with a clipboard, it's not as dicey. Once you get a table involved, you're occupying.
But they told him he was trespassing, period. The table wasn't the issue at all. I think there may have been some other issues that they were concerned about. Perhaps maybe it was because he was a black man. I don't know.
Because we have African American people that work for us.
Yeah.
And they don't have any issues.
Yeah. I don't know. I just found the whole thing really bizarre. Really, really bizarre. And so I came over here. I was going to shop yesterday, and that all went down. I ran out of time, and I left, and I just happened to be. I'm actually live streaming this.
Okay.
Because I did a live stream yesterday. I'm not recording you at all.
Okay.
I'm recording
The conversation.
my sound. You can see that. You can see the
Okay.
picture.
Well, you should have told me.
No,
you were
I don't have to
recording.
because we're in public.
Okay, that's
Okay.
still a little rude. Just like
Well,
person to person.
We could interpret a lot of things as being really rude. I mean, I could say you being here is rude, all of that. I mean, no harm.
Was I?
I'm not. No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
We're in public.
I'm just saying once there's a table involved, it gets a little bit more complicated.
They didn't have a problem with the table.
Okay.
They had no problem with the table. They had a problem with him. They wouldn't even allow him in the store to use the restroom. He was told he was not even allowed in the store. So
I wasn't here.
I know. I just wondered if management had come out here today to tell you could not do this. That's all I really was most interested in. So I applaud you for what you're doing. Keep doing it, please. And you should be paid to do it because it's not an easy job. I'm very familiar with how to circulate petitions. I do it often. I never get paid because we work in grassroots efforts that do those kinds of things. But this is not an easy job. So thank you for doing it, and please keep doing what you're doing, okay? Take care. So, yeah, I'm at King Soopers. The same King Soopers I was at yesterday when you were all watching that live stream. When that other gentleman was here doing the same thing they're doing, but Right now it's like right in front of the entrance. Whereas Will was set up over here. So I just wanted to document this and have a little conversation about this, you guys. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I am never one to immediately throw out any kind of race baiting, okay? Because I don't care what color you are. We all know how this works, okay? So yesterday, you saw what went down here. And these two individuals are here today, presumably from the same company that was paying the gentleman that was here yesterday to collect signatures. Getting paid to collect signatures is not a big deal. Okay, people think that this is some kind of scam or scheme, and people are doing these things just to make some quick cash, and they're being deceptive. It's not true. So paid circulators like this, I think they should be paid. I don't think there's anything wrong with paying them because they do a much better job sometimes. And it doesn't even matter if Will was being paid or not, or if he was out here on his own accord. His petition was legitimate. He had 3 clipboards of them. I looked at them. I spent time with him. So it doesn't even matter if that girl was trying to tell me all the reasons that he would have been not allowed to be here collecting those signatures. And none of those things came up yesterday about him being here because him not being allowed to be here because he was aggressive, or that there had been other problems. There were all these accusations being made yesterday that he was supposedly yelling, but the cops couldn't define that. You probably didn't hear the beginning of that conversation because I was static recording at the time. And nothing was brought up except the fact that he was trespassing and that King Soopers didn't want him here. And now today, less than 24 hours later, I drive by here and I see these 2 people actually standing in front of the entrance. Stopping people. Whereas Will had his table off to the side. This is wild, and how aggressive those managers were with Will when I walked up here. That was his name, Will. And I watched it before I went and talked to Will. And Will wasn't yelling at anyone. He was standing his ground just fine. But he wasn't in front of the entrance, nothing. And 2 or 3, I think it was 3 women from inside King Soopers, who were the managers apparently, plus their security guard, literally had surrounded him right out here. And so I told you, I stopped and kind of started to defend him, and the managers went inside, and I walked in the door, and I said to those managers, I said, you should not be doing that. You should be giving him an award for exercising his civic duty. So this is protected activity. And I'm going to tell you that the Littleton Police Department, I wasn't going to help them yesterday, and I wasn't going to help anybody else. So King Soopers obviously has caught wind of their bad behavior yesterday, because when I talked to this gentleman before I started recording today, I said, sir, I see you're standing in front of the door here collecting signatures. I signed that yesterday. I said, has management been out here today to tell you can't be here? He said, no, actually management they came out and told me I could be here because I'm sweet as honey. That's what he said. This is kind of mind-blowing. So The way they treated him yesterday, and that wasn't the first time they had called the cops on him. If you'll recall, maybe we talked about it, maybe we didn't. I know that video didn't pick up a lot of audio, but Will said to those cops yesterday, he said, the last 2 times you guys have been out here, you were way more aggressive than you are today. And they said, yeah, we were. They admitted it. And now today, this has all switched, and apparently these 2 are allowed to be out here. Yes, do I have any mods in here, you guys? So I had put a link to this store. This is Lucinator. This is the King Soopers at 100 West Littleton Boulevard. 100 West Littleton Boulevard. It's the King Soopers. There's a few locations in Littleton, but this is the one at 100 West. I mean, I can't even believe this. So, yeah, this guy went down to talk to his coworker down there. She got a little miffed because I started this live stream as I was talking to her. I didn't blast her, and in fact, I thanked her for what she was doing. I saw her petition; it was legitimate. King Soopers, yes, Soopers. King Soopers. It's part of Kroger, the Kroger company. So, yeah, I think it would be awesome if some calls were made, actually to Kroger's corporate. And I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to hang out here or try to ask for a store manager and see. But I was shocked. I was literally shocked to see these 2 out here standing in front of the door, stopping people as they were coming. I mean, literally, I took a picture of them blocking the whole area by all the people gathering in front of the door. And yesterday, Will couldn't even be lined up on the side of the trash can with his table, sitting in a chair. Ay, ay, ay. This looks really bad. This looks, I shouldn't even be fucking shopping here. Where are you, Littleton PD? How come no one's calling you today? Huh. 4 cops harassing that man for the 3rd time for over an hour yesterday. And now today, these 2 are here, and it's all cool, huh? This does not look good. I don't know, Ellie. I don't know. Why? Why is it okay? I think it's going to be a better plan if somebody calls and asks to talk to management. Thanks, Lucinator. Yeah. I don't care how many of you call. I'm going to hang out here for a minute and see what happens as a result of phone calls and see if anything changes. King Soopers knows that they can't do what they were doing yesterday. This is a complicated issue, and you have to have a very well-versed attorney on the issues of taxation. So yes, while they collect property or while they collect sales tax here, there's also this little thing about special district tax breaks, if you will, okay? How many tax breaks businesses are getting and how that makes what Will and these 2 individuals are doing today, how it makes that protected activity. There's case law. That's all I'm going to say on that, because I'm not going to help anybody. Well, you can get through that. You can You can get through that to talk to somebody. Yeah, Lucinator, that's cool. I'll hang out here for a minute and see if anybody has any feedback. There's a way to get through that automated phone system. Just push whatever number for the service desk or customer service or whatever. So, and I'm hiding way behind the corner here because I really didn't want those. I didn't want those two petition circulators to get scared off by me. But maybe that guy wasn't being honest. Maybe management did not come out here and tell him that he could do what he was doing. Right. Their lack of knowledge. I mean, they seriously harassed that man for how long and how many times? And they even went to that extreme to bring that sign out that King Soopers publishes, and they put on next to the petitioners that says King Soopers does not allow this activity, and nor do we support it. So that petitioner guy, he's back over here. He went to his car and got some water. Because they know that they cannot legally tell them to leave or make them leave by using law enforcement. But they'll try. I mean, he's literally approaching people and kind of following them as they're walking off. I mean, he's doing what paid petition gatherers kind of are supposed to do. So, are you telling me that management's cool with that today, huh? Fascinating. So, the petition is for marijuana taxation dollars to go towards education programs. Okay, so what happened when we passed marijuana here? We were really dumb about how the language was written in how much of those tax dollars would go into public education, and they put it in one fund called the Best Grant Fund, where it was only supposed to be used for new construction of schools. So now that, this is a booming business, we got billions and billions of bucks coming in here, and everybody was under the impression that all this money was going to public education, right? That's another whole topic for me about how poorly public education is doing. I'm not so much about giving them a whole lot more money because of their consistent mismanagement of money. But the problem with that is that it wasn't set up correctly to begin with. So hey, whatever. If we're gonna tax the shit out of weed, then the schools have no more excuses if they get weed money as to why they can't have better academic performance. Okay, so I signed it. So it's the marijuana taxation. Check it out. Yeah, exactly. The biggest cut of your property tax goes to public education. With what kind of results? What's been your return on investment? That's where my advocacy got started, was in the public school system. So I know, I can relate. You just called and talked to Paul, who identifies as a manager. He says the gentleman yesterday had the cops called because of his attitude. Oh, he had the wrong attitude. Really? So we use police force on attitude. There you go. Thanks for doing that, Paul. Okay. And that young boy today is not supposed to be there today either, but the cops have not been called because it is not their policy to call police during such situations. Really? They did it 3 times on Will, according to him, and the cops admitted that they'd been out here before, the day before. So today it's just not their policy, huh? Wow. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. It's pretty much a zero-sum return on investment. Somebody asked me today, what public schools aren't teaching that they should be. It was kind of an innuendo that they should be doing more than just the basics, and I said it's just the basics that they're not teaching: reading, writing, and math. Look at how aggressive he's being. I mean, he's literally. So they're fine. Oh, look at him bringing her back. Yeah. Apparently she said no, thank you. This is pretty fascinating stuff, isn't it? Huh. You're on hold. Thank you, Newfie. You told him to go outside and talk to me. The woman at the service desk said no and hung up on me. Yeah, well. Nobody wants to come out here and talk to me. Can somebody call them back and ask them if Paul is the store manager and if management is different from yesterday and the day before versus today? I mean, if they have a policy, why is there so much discretion given to who they selectively call the cops on? I mean, I'm really intent on pushing this. This is bad shit. He's sweet as honey. Yeah, that's what he told me. He likes all the. He goes after all the little ladies over here. Good people are called Paul. Well, yeah, maybe Paul, wasn't here when he needed to be. I don't know. Yeah, and there's another gal at the other end. She was the one I was talking to. So now King Soopers has determined, that this is protected activity. And how come Littleton police didn't have the good sense to figure that out themselves? That's what I'm talking about these dangerous cops. So let's say you're a critical thinker and you've been on this same call going on twice now, and this same man is holding his ground that what he's doing is protected activity. Would something say to you, and at least on this 3rd call as of yesterday, wouldn't something say to you, okay, we've got this woman here with a camera that's backing him up, saying some things about it being protected activity. This is the 3rd time we've had interaction with this guy. He's still holding his ground. Maybe we should just shut the fuck up and leave, and we will call our police chief, if we have to make contact with the city attorney, who's hopefully somewhat intelligent enough to understand and interpret what all of this means, to tell them, no, back off now. But no, we'll just, hey, thanks. I take pride. We'll just continue to threaten this guy. We'll threaten to use force on him. We'll do this little dance out in this parking lot, make spectacles of ourselves, make everyone unsafe. We'll stand here and watch the lady filming us getting smacked around by a couple men here who, don't want to be on camera. We'll make a bigger scene. We'll not practice what we preach when we talk about blocking lanes of traffic and handicap access and all those other things. This is nuts. No, they don't. We know that. We know they don't. So yes, I did a live stream earlier and it ended abruptly. I was out working with some of my folks on the streets, and I actually did have to come back down way this way for an appointment, and I just finished this appointment, and so I came back this way, and I thought, you know what? Today I said I am going to pull into this King Soopers to see what's going on. But yesterday, honestly, I just needed to go to the store, and I was in Littleton doing other business. It's like I said at the city council meeting, I do have a lot of business over here. And I was actually going to go to a different King Soopers, but I was coming down Littleton right here, this road, and I was going to go to a different one, the opposite direction. And I thought, oh heck, I'm just going to pull into this one because I just get my shopping done a little bit quicker. I shouldn't even be shopping at King Soopers. I actually should be shopping at Safeway now with the prices at King Soopers. They've raised their prices so much in here. So anyway, that was all happenstance. And I'm telling you, these things are happening because of divine intervention. There is no other explanation as to how I end up in these situations. If you, I swear, people think that I've got some kind of inside knowledge. I don't. It's just happening. It's just happening. Yesterday, ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous what they were doing to him. Even if he had done something just horrendously bad and was screaming and accosting people, nobody brought that up. It was just brought up that yesterday's call through dispatch told the officers they needed to respond because he was yelling. They don't know who said he was yelling. Will asked him, well, who said that? Who was I yelling at? And Will said, that's a lie. Whoever said that is lying. Remember, they had already banned him from even using the bathroom. You heard our well, tummy, so, I mean, I got a tummy, right? I mean, let's talk tummies. Let's talk tummy talk. Our well-tummied sergeant, you know, he's gonna go ahead and let him stay, but not before he, you know, wanted to lay down the law on him about, you know, trespassing, and that he had already been warned not to use the bathroom. Are you fucking serious? Dude, you are gonna stand there as a cop and feel good about telling a man who's done nothing wrong. Not only are you threatening to criminalize him, you're telling him he can't even use a bathroom because this place doesn't want him to. Since when have you cops become the messengers and the enforcers for all of these feelings? You need to think long and hard about that shit before you articulate that. He sounded like a fucking asshole. Well, he was, so I guess that only makes sense. Okay, petitioner guy is gone again. Did anybody call back and actually find out who the store manager is? I want the name. We need the name of the store manager in this chat. You're above tummy talk, Paul? Come on. We all got a tummy. We all got hungry tummies. That's why we're at the grocery store. So Paul's not giving out his last name? Did he say he was the store manager? No, Kevin, there is no such thing as coincidence. None. He referred to himself as a manager. Yeah, well, he's probably the fucking produce manager. Pardon my language. We want the store manager, the actual store manager. We need his name. There have been a couple employees that have walked by here and are looking at me, so I'm wondering if one of those is Paul with his name tag that doesn't actually have his name on it. It has a bunch of just some letters that don't even form a word. So where is Mr. Petitioner guy? Oh no, he's still over there, hanging out over there. Okay. So I doubt Paul really knows. That this guy was out here. And I'm really wondering who talked to this guy and told him he could be out here, because he was sweet as honey. Yeah, who's the big cheese? We should probably get like their regional manager too involved. No, they don't list. No, they don't do that. They don't list it on the web because they change so much. That's why we need to really go up the ladder quickly. Okay, now the little petitioners are both back over here. I think they're feeling a little uneasy because of me, but I apologize, but oh, the guy is leaving. He's walking through the parking lot. There he goes. He had words with her as she came back over here. Maybe she's gonna work this door now. I'll go ask her if they told him to leave. Yeah, I'm outspoken about a lot when it matters. And there should be more of me. You know what? I'm gonna ask one of these little grocery personal shopper people when they come back out here what the store manager's name is. Or maybe one of these cart boys. Where are the cops? We need the cops. Somebody's gonna call and say there's a suspicious person outside of King Soopers just standing there talking to herself. We should have her charged with trespassing. This looks absolutely horrible for the Littleton Police Department, the city of Littleton, King Soopers. I mean, wow, you guys, this is not good. It's not good at all. Think the cart boys will give up the manager's name? That guy parking in the no parking lane. Yeah, remember Officer Jones yesterday wanted to enforce traffic laws? Hey, Officer Jones, get over here. Andale. Come on, he can't be parking there. cop supervisor. Actually, here's how that went down. I didn't get any cards yesterday, and I realized after kind of watching my stream, I didn't announce their names very good. Atkinson was the woman, and on her name tag it said she was a field. What did it say? I swear it had the word inspector on it or something. Field training inspector. Oh, no picture? Is there sound? Ah, damn it. Is there any sound? Okay, there's sound. All right, well, let me wrap this up. See, that you never know what's gonna happen with YouTube. But anyway, the audio is good. Okay, I flipped the camera. Did that help? Oh yeah, field training officer, FTO, hallucinate. Yeah, is that what it was? I swore it said inspector. It did not say officer on it. I swear. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay, but anyway, so Atkinson was her name. Jay Jones was the other male. W. Lewis was the good cop. And I say good, and I got kind of scolded in some comments on that. The reason I said he was good was because when I came up here, when I walked up here, he was having a conversation with Will, and it was very cordial. He was using every form of de-escalation that he could have and should have been using, okay? As he is being critiqued by that woman, bitch, who was gonna charge Will with trespassing, while he's being critiqued by her on his ability to be a good cop, right? So he was doing everything right. And he was making small talk. He never once, through that entire interaction, made any threat to criminalize Will. He went in the store. As he walked in the store, I told him, I said, tell him to kick rocks. This is not your job. So I'd already been in his ear, and he was smart because he was at least listening and processing what he was hearing. Because when he came back out to communicate with Will, he was still attempting to de-escalate, and he went to his little field training woman and was asking her a couple questions. I attempted this and that, blah, blah. And then his aggression stopped, okay? Well, there was no aggression. Literally his involvement stopped. And all of the other ones started to get more aggressive, okay? So, yeah, I know it's still a black screen. I'm sorry. Let me finish this up. So, Lewis was the cop with potential, and I actually feel compelled to write him a commendation for how he handled himself yesterday. Because as he was standing there kind of listening and then piping in every now and then to just converse with Will, I said to him, I pointed at him, I said, I see it in your eyes. I know you want to do the right thing. And he looked at me, and we made some serious eye contact, and I watched his face the rest of the time. And after I got done saying to him, when I looked directly at him and said, when your fellow officers criminalize this man, I expect you to be the hero in this equation and tell them and stop them from what they're doing. You could see his face. It got major serious. He wanted to leave. He knew at least that they needed to get more information to make sure they were doing the right thing, okay? So he was the only one that even had potential. And those other cops, for as long as they've been on the force, I'm gonna tell you what, they were terrible. And Rousey, so you got his name. He was the sergeant, R-A-U-Z-I-E. So I'm just gonna walk over here, and I'm gonna see if this woman is still here. The other circulator. So since I don't have any picture, I'm just gonna kind of flop my phone around. Nope, she's gone. They're both gone. How come the cops didn't get called? Interesting. And the sign for the petitioners to our customers. These petitioners are on King Soopers property without our permission. King Soopers is not associated with this petitioning activity. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. So that sign is sitting right inside the foyer here. So I'm going to end this stream. I think it was good documentation. Yeah, look, we need to identify some of these cops, and we need to support them, okay? Because look, they're probably not going to make it in the force if they come in here with any set of morals or values, or let's say a semi-understanding of their oath, and they want to do a good job, because they're going to be ousted. We know how that works. The second they're not following orders, they're done. So most of them, come in with fantastic intentions and turn into horrible cops. But if we don't at least acknowledge them and try to build them up and support them, look, we're stuck with them. So can we do some things a little bit differently instead of wanting to group all of them in one sum? And don't start this shit with the only a good cop is a dead cop. That is not me. That is not what I'm about. I'm not about harassing them. I'm not about, blasting their families, where they live. I am about putting their leadership on blast, because it should be, okay? So that's where this is at. I guess I'll figure out if we're ever going to learn the store manager's name. Did anybody make any contact before I end this stream? Tony Woodward. Paul. You found that out, Paul? Tony Woodward, store manager, Arvada West. No, that's not. Hey, do you know your store manager's name here?
Store manager name?
The actual store manager.
Samantha?
Does she manage the entire store, or,
Yeah.
or just a particular department?
She manages the entire store, ma'am. But
Samantha?
She's not here.
She's not here.
No.
Who's the manager on today?
I always mispronounce her name.
Oh, it's another woman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Were they the same women that were on duty yesterday here at the store? Do you know? Did you work yesterday?
Yeah, I did, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I just wondered. I thought the store manager's name was Paul here.
Oh,
It
it is Paul, Harley, and Keithan.
Paul, Harley, and who?
Keithan?
Keithan?
Yeah.
Keithan?
Yeah.
But the actual store manager's name, her first name is Samantha?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Appreciate that. Did you hear that? The same managers are on duty that were on duty yesterday. Go figure. Those women targeted Will. Wow. Oh, there's the little petitioner girl now. She went in the store and bought some groceries, and now she's leaving. Yeah, she's definitely leaving. So the two petitioners are gone. And the conclusion of this live stream, with no picture right now, is that we've learned Will was not allowed to do his protected activity out here, completely out of the way of the entrances, without having the cops called on him 3 times by the same women managers who are on duty today, who have not called the cops and who have allowed these petitioners to be out here. in the amount of time that I was here. Wow. And the store manager's first name is Samantha. And Paul, whoever the F Paul is, Paul's a liar. I'll bet there was no Paul. I'll bet that was some stupid ass with maybe that name tag on that came walking by me, staring at me as he was bringing another employee with me, and then they acted like they were gonna go to this car, and then they turned around and walked back in the store. Yeah. Boy, the things you learn, huh? All right, you guys, so I know there's no screen here. I'm gonna end this, and I'm gonna go on my way. I'm not shopping in this shithole. So that's the story on that. This place treated that man like that. I hope I hear from Will again. I really do. I really do. I talked to Will off camera yesterday, and I just made a few suggestions, and I hope he follows up on them. But he had my name and my number. I gave him my card, and he knew these videos were accessible. So, Will, if you're listening or watching, I really do think you need to follow up. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go on my way. Anybody else have anything else to say? Yeah, they're definitely hiding. Call King Soopers Corporate Affairs Manager Jessica Trowbridge and ask why the petitioners were allowed to stay today, and why they were allowed to be in front of the entrances after the cops specifically told Will yesterday he wasn't even allowed to leave his table. This is mind-blowing. Okay, yeah. Do we have a number for her? How did we get that? Corporate Affairs Manager Jessica Trowbridge. Okay. And if anybody wants to call over to the Littleton Police Department and speak with, say, someone in command staff and ask them why they weren't at King Soopers today, that might be a good thing to do. All right, you guys, thank you. Thank you very, very much for being here. Lucinator, thank you for everything. And we'll see you guys again soon, okay? Have a fabulous rest of your day.